If you've ever felt like the third wheel, this podcast is for you.
If you love Wheel of Time, this podcast is for you.
If you're bored and have nothing better to do, this podcast is for you.
Join Rob,
Megan,
And Jen
in celebrating the Wheel of Time
and its statistically best fandom
and ridiculous gaming skills,
and probably a few cocktails.
and find out which one of them will be the third wheel this time.
This is
three-wheeling.
Is this where we will
Hello,
go?
hello.
I love that
Aw,
intro.
I do love that intro so much. Although
Hello, hello.
now that I have a better mic, I'm like, I need to re-record my part.
I do listen to that. I was just like, we could probably do that better now, but that's
I
fine.
think we could. We
Yeah.
should redo it. We'll redo it for our what is this? Our 9th?
This
This
is our
is our
ninth
ninth,
episode.
yeah.
We could redo it for our 10th.
Ooh,
A little
Ooh.
spanky new for the 10th. We could do that.
spanky new.
Spanky new.
Oh.
That's very fitting with
Okay.
the Wheel of Time.
That is very fitting with Wheel of Time. That is absolutely accurate. So, God, so a little bit late on the live recording, a few technical issues, but we are here.
It's all me. It's all
Um,
me, guys. Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
Mm.
Meg, she was busy making cocktails. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I
We'll
was
put it
busy
down to that.
making cocktails. Neighbor was texting me wondering where her daughter was, and I did not know.
Oh
And
dear.
so it was all kinds of, and then my headphones cut out, so it was a
Yeah.
mess. So
Well, I
Good.
was technically challenged as well. I had to move. I'm downstairs because David's home working today in the studio. So I am.
I am also downstairs,
yeah.
but that's not a permanent change. It's a semi-permanent change. So, for those who choose to watch live, I am sitting at my bar. Genuinely, there's a fridge next to me. There is a credenza to my right filled with liquor. Not like Meg's selection, but
This is actually the closest to the bar I have. My wine glasses are all right here on the
Nice.
left. Yeah.
So no one's the third wheel yet.
No.
not yet. I'm sure we'll find a way to do that. So, how's everyone been?
Good.
Yeah. Did you have fun at San Diego? Is it San Diego Comic Con?
I did have fun at San Diego
Yeah.
Comic Con. I love it so much. There was the only as far as I know, the only Wheel of Time content there. There were two things. One was one of the costumers who did some sketches for costuming in season 1 was there selling her prints the first 2 days, and I missed her, or the first day or something. She wasn't there very long, and then dropped in by the costume designer's booth, but I went there and they did not have any more. So sadly I missed her. And then I went to Badali Jewelry and I bought myself a Forsaken seal.
Very
Yes.
nice.
I'm very excited about this. It's really nice. It's like heavy.
I was gonna say it looks like it's got some weight to it.
I feel like a gold medalist. I feel like a bronze medalist.
Is it bronze? Like it looks like it'd be
It's-
bronze more
yeah,
than
I got the
gold,
I got the
You're gonna have the Forsaken in
aged
first
bronze.
place. This is
Mhm, mhm.
that's not that doesn't fit with them in the book. So
No.
I have a seal as well, but not from Badali. One of the attendees of Malcaricon last year is a 3D printing resin kind of person, and they made like molds of the seals using just images, and they
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
then made like a whole selection of magnets out of them.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah, like cast them in resin and then just added a magnet to them and such, and just
Yeah.
gave them away for free at the convention. So I have a seal on my fridge currently. So.
Nice.
Meg, does that make Meg the third wheel now? Have we
It
established that
does.
straight away? Because Meg does not have a seal of any kind.
I do not have a seal now.
Yeah.
All right, so Meg, tell us about our cocktail this week.
So the third of the shots from the ladies who love Rand is for men, and it's called a viewing. So the recipe is, so you pour 3/4 of an ounce of tequila rose in a shot glass. So that's just like a pink liqueur. And then in a shaker with ice, you're pouring 3/4 of an ounce of vodka. Now, if you can find black vodka, just do that. But I could not find black vodka. So I just put in black food coloring, and then I jazzed it up a little by putting in some purple edible sparkles. So then you shake that up, and then you sort of drizzle it into the pink tequila rose, and then it sort of does this like woo little like melody thing that looks like an aura, like one of her viewings. So
Folks, if you're just listening, you're not able to watch. Literally, Meg was just like wiggling her fingers up and down in front of the camera, and like while
Yeah.
saying "woo." It's very
And
entertaining.
I feel like woo aura thing is definitely our audio clip this week.
Yeah, it's a
So are you
strong
showing us?
contender.
For those of us who are
so
on
it's
screen, or
been
can we not
sitting
really see
for
it?
a
It's been
while,
sitting.
so now it just kind of looks black. But
Oh, no,
when
it's
you
still
first
beautiful.
pour it in,
Yeah,
then it looks. And so I made one and I tried to do it with the bar spoon first, and then it layered it too much, and then it was just like all straight vodka at first. So I drank that one, didn't like it. So I'm like, no, so this is my second one. And then I forgot to record the video. So then I got a third one here.
you got 3. Oh my god!
Oh,
Meg's getting drunk tonight. So cheers.
Yeah,
woo, cheers.
cheers indeed.
Oh my god, she did the whole shot.
Almost. Teensy little bit.
Almost.
Yeah.
I thought this was
Is
a
it-
shooter. This was a shooter, or this
Yeah.
was a shot? This
One's
was
a
actually a shot. Okay.
This one's actually okay. We've had this
Got it.
discussion before. Shoot a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
you
bad.
got-
It kind of it reminds me of if anybody remembers when you were a kid and you had an earache and it was the pink bubble gummy. What's the medicine you take?
Amoxicillin?
Yeah, the amoxicillin. It kind of has that flavor to it.
Okay. I mean,
That is
really not
not
selling
the-
it that strongly.
I get some nostalgia, and then your ears start
Wow.
to hurt. So no.
Yeah, take the nostalgia.
So,
Love it.
so we liked the shooter last time. That was for Elaine.
Yeah.
Yes.
The goat's
Yes.
milk and fireball. I mean, that's not
Goat's
goat.
milk,
It's
Yeah.
The rum shot and
Um,
fireball.
The rum shot and
actual
fireball,
goat's
which-
milk.
Yeah, which doesn't sound like it would work, but you said it was great.
Yes.
And then this one from Min is just, I mean, it's tequila and vodka
Well,
basically.
it's
you throw in the shot
tequila
glass.
rose. So it's just a strawberry cream liqueur. I don't think it actually has tequila in it.
Yeah.
Strawberry. Oh, it does say strawberry cream liqueur with a splash of tequila.
Hmm.
You
So
don't really
those
taste
of-
the tequila though.
So those of you who are tequila averse can probably drink it, because I feel
Yeah.
like that is the one liquor more than anything that if people have had a bad night on it, they never go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's such
and
bad
I
tequila
have
out there.
very terrible
Well, yeah.
tequila.
Jose Cuervo's
I've-
the worst.
Do you know, I would take that over some of the others that are out there. There are some bad ones out there.
This podcast is brought to you by Jose.
Not
Cuervo.
brought to you by Jose Cuervo.
It's really not. It's not.
The Kirkland Tequila Blanco is pretty good, I have to say. So,
All right.
That's a
Costco.
sizable bottle you've got there.
well, it's the Costco.
Costco.
size.
It's the Costco one. Okay.
We don't fuck around here with the size of our liquor bottles.
American. We're American. We get them big.
Yeah. I mean, I did get that like giant bottle of port for the convention. It was just like
Yes.
a
Yeah.
liter and a half. Yeah. So
It had a
fair. That
handle
was
on
not
it
from
too,
Costco.
right?
It did have a handle.
That's
on
when
it.
you
That is
know
correct.
it's big. There's lots of clips
Oh.
for audiograms today. So
I was thinking that exact thing. Yeah.
twins.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm 2 shots and I'm really hot already. So
Oh, this is such a good podcast.
It's
is
so
so
much
much
fun.
fun.
Oh god. All right. So Mrs. 2 shots in and hot already. Why do you update us on social media?
Yes.
Um,
Can you get?
I could do a little. Jen, I think, has a little more than me, actually.
Yeah, you can give us a little, and then I mean, sure, and then yeah, it's kind of
So-
what we're hanging our hats on that this week anyway.
So Jen and I actually
Yeah.
kind of talked about this off camera or whatever. But the fact that Donal Finn just got cast as Moriarty for young Sherlock made me a little bit nervous at first, but because it's still through Amazon, I figure they can kind of coordinate schedules and whatever.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, Gus from Wheel Takes he just dropped the mic on Twitter, and he was just like, actors can have more than one job.
Yes.
And it's true. And especially in this market when we have these long hiatuses
Mhm.
between seasons, you can't expect actors to stay attached to something and not to be working. So,
Yeah.
I think that it's a it's definitely a not anything to worry about. And the fact that it's in the Amazon family makes it even less concerning, you
Right.
know. And
I agree.
frankly, you know, like the thing is that film actors, you know, would jump from film to film to film, but and TV actors would, it used to be that TV actors would do film in the summer, like when they were on hiatus from their TV
Mhm.
show. You might do it, you might catch them, you know, pick up a movie in the summer. Seasons are shorter and hiatuses are longer now. So
Yeah,
your people are working more than one job,
Yeah.
you know.
this is
It's
true.
just that's just the way it is. Yeah.
There are definitely. I'm taking Kayla through Star Trek. We've done Voyager, DS9, and now we're working on Next Generation because I
Oh,
wanted to like ease her into some of the nostalgia stuff. Although that means I can't explain some of the jokes and things until later
right.
on. But doing that definitely makes me miss episodic TV.
Mhm.
Even though what was the we saw like a meme or something a couple of weeks ago. It's like watching episodic TV from like early 2000s is just like one episode can be really deep and meaningful and character driven and building and this the other, and then next week it's like let's talk about someone's slip up at the local store or on the space station, you
Yes.
know, and it's just
Yes.
like what the fuck did I just watch? You know?
Yes. And it's honestly like and I'm going to bring this up later too because I want to talk about short seasons and like everybody, you know, the what that means for when seasons are getting picked up and not, because I don't mind not having, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but I don't mind not having to slog through some of those
Filler
episodes,
episodes.
some of those filler episodes.
Yeah.
Then again, I say that, and I think we talked about this last time, but like an X, maybe we didn't, but an X-Files, you know, every episode was a filler episode. Every episode was an alien of the week. And then you just got like little droplets of the actual through line story. But the vampire Rashomon episode with Luke Wilson is literally one of my favorite episodes of television ever. It's just great. It's
Never
great.
watched a single
Oh,
episode.
it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, and it was a complete throwaway episode, and it was just phenomenal and brilliant and super funny. So, you know, I don't know. Sometimes there's a good one of those, you know, slip up at the drugstore moments.
Or
But
you
also
like the
wait,
Buffy musical episode.
or the Buffy
Yes,
musical episode.
Mhm.
But can
this
I
is
just
true.
say, I love, and I did not know this, that you started with Voyager.
Janeway's the best captain.
Heart of my hearts. I love Janeway so much.
Yeah.
And Voyager
And
is
don't-
amazing.
Doesn't mean she's a great captain, but she's the best captain. So
Yeah,
you know.
she's like off book all the time, and she's like,
Oh God, yeah,
Prime Directive, Prime Who?
yeah.
But I love me some
Prime
Janeway.
Directive, Prime Who.
Shut up, Megan.
Am I
You don't
the
know
third
anything
wheel
about
because
Star.
I've never watched Star Trek television?
Hardcore.
What? Oh
know.
yeah, seriously, Meg, you're the third wheel right
You're the
now.
third
You
I've
wheel.
watched
only
that
watched
movie.
like I watched the J.J. Abrams movies.
All
That's it.
right.
Yeah, they're fun, but that's not.
No, but I think
that's
that definitely
not
makes me the third wheel for sure.
Yeah. Mhm,
for
yeah.
real. For real.
In like
I'm
a
gonna bring
lot
up
of people's opinion, I'm sure.
I'm gonna bring up something about Voyager. I can now or later too. Okay, I'm gonna bring up something about Voyager right now. Just
Okay,
in
go.
going back to the Donald Finn and working two jobs. So it was different when it was episodic TV.
Mhm.
I had the great pleasure of becoming friends with Garrett Wong, who played Harry Kim, Lieutenant Harry Kim.
Shut up.
Yeah,
You
we
did
met.
not.
I did.
Oh
I
my
did.
God.
We met in an acting class, and it was so funny because it was a few years after Voyager was over, and I was like, do I know this guy from like college? Like, why is this guy so familiar to me? I did the whole like stupid Hollywood thing. I'm like, he was in my acting class, and he was like acting in front of the camera, and I was like, I feel like I know him. And then I like closed my eyes for just a second and heard his voice, and I was like, oh my God, it's Harry Kim. I was very excited, and then trying not to geek out. And then I talked to him a little bit, and then and he was only coming into that class like to make up. It was one day I was like, here's my one chance to meet Harry Kim. The next
Right.
day I started a class at the Groundlings, and I thought to myself, wouldn't it be funny if Garrett Wong was in my class at Groundlings? And I walked in, and they had like a class list with all the people's names who were in your class, and my class list was Garrett Wong. And I was, and this
Oh
is like
my
across town, different acting school, nothing the same. And I was like, you've got to be shitting me. And I turned around as he walked in, and he went, you've got to be shitting me. Like, what? And so we became friends because we were like, clearly we're supposed to be friends. And he is
Yes.
just a delight. He is just a delightful human. But I went to his house. At the end of our Groundlings class, we had everybody from Groundlings come over to his house. And I just remember him saying this, and it was not smug, and it was not snotty. It was not anything. but he had this gorgeous house in the Hollywood Hills with like an infinity pool, and it was beautiful. And he said, "This is what 7 years as a series regular will buy you." And it was so sweet. It was very endearing. It was not meant to be snotty, but it was true, because back then, if you were 7 years as a series regular, that was 22 to 26 episodes a season,
Yeah.
where you were in pretty much every episode. And like we were, the actors who were on Star Trek today are not they're not they're not making that kind of money. They're not buying that
No.
house. And certainly the Wheel of Time actors aren't. And Donald Finn has one season under his belt of Wheel of
Yeah.
Time. He's that's not what he's not making enough to buy a house in the Hollywood Hills. So that being said, he's got to get another job,
Mhm.
whereas back in the day, Garrett Wang was like, "Nah, I'm contracted in unless I really screw up or get written off. But I've got a gig for a while." So anyway,
Yeah.
it's a different
Nice
game.
segue all the way back there to Donald, by the way. Before us talking about Star
you.
Trek. That
Thank
was
you.
very, very impressive. So yeah, so Donald Finn got himself another gig that he's gonna kick ass in.
Oh my God, I'm excited to see him play such a villain too.
Yes.
Really
I think,
fun.
I really want to
Yeah.
see him play a villain. I think that's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about this. Because I saw when everyone's like, "Oh, he's finishing Hades Town. Maybe he's going back to Wheel of Time." I'm like, "No, way, way, way too soon."
Yes.
And then this
Yeah.
makes sense because he was like, "I got myself another gig, and my contract
Yep.
at Hades Town was coming around." So
Yep.
yeah, kind of perfect. Was there anything else? Anything big, or is that about it?
I
And
didn't.
then
Jen, you said you had some stuff.
Well, I mean, this is from a few weeks ago. I had a couple of the casting pieces from the first Seafolk casting, and I don't have her name right in front of me because I
do.
didn't put it in the document.
Carmela
Camilla?
Bonomi, as Jordan Jubai.
Yeah, playing one of the Windfinders that Elaine meets,
Yeah.
or that Elaine and Nynaeve meet on the boat, Tanchico, and then Jean Cade, one of the Black sisters.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I
So
remember
that's cool.
Omar was talking about this. He was like, "Oh, we're going to drop this tomorrow," type thing. So I'll tell you now. It's not a big reveal. He's like, it's nothing. He was like, but when they found this, he said this is probably just like a person with like a line or something like that, or a named character type thing. But it's fun that here we go. Like here's some of the sea folk starting to appear and stuff,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
which is
I mean,
exciting to see.
it is exciting to see, and because I don't know, it's really,
It's just building
again,
the
like all
world.
the
Yeah.
it's building the world, all the years of fan casting for all of us, of like who we imagined as what characters, and like what they might look like. It's just really exciting. It's exciting,
Yeah.
even if it is one line.
And I hope the sea folk are a lot better in the show than they are in the books, because they're kind of a letdown.
They're a little annoying in the book. Yeah.
I mean,
They're a
just
little
irritating.
underutilized.
Yeah.
Underutilized and underdeveloped, frankly. They're a little bit
Yeah.
a little thin. I think they're a little bit one-dimensional as far as characters in the books.
Yeah, with the exception of their negotiating skills and their marriage
Yeah.
customs, I think you don't really learn much about the Windfinders.
No. Stringing them up in the sails, that's all we hear.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
and their ability to control the weather. I mean, that's the
Sure.
whole of the winds thing,
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
do but I think that I do think that it's more for world building than it is for culture building.
Got
I
you.
wanted to know more. Anyway, yeah. We just didn't spend enough time in we never got to spend time in their POVs.
It's been pretty sparse on the social media stuff, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Well, it has been sparse on the social media stuff, except for pants on fire, hair on fire.
Yes, that is true.
Which is our main topic for today.
Which is our main topic for today. Y'all need to fucking chill.
But yeah, I think that's kind of our main thing this week, is to get into the Wheel of Time fandom freak out of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, I've said this a few places, we might be statistically the best fandom, but we are not the chillest fandom, apparently.
No.
Nope.
I would say we are statistically the best and statistically the most reactionary. Most reactionary. You know what? I think it's just that we all have a little bit of Nynaeve in us. I mean, it is kind of a Nynaeve style reaction. Like the fandom in general is like tugging on some braids in the biggest way right now, or has been. And I think that that's kind of appropriate and fitting for the characters that we love so much. I mean, we've all modeled
This
ourselves and our lives after them, so, you know.
this is very true. For anyone who is listening, who's like, I have missed everything. Clearly, John from What Up, What Tuber that folks, I feel like kind of like or dislike, his style of reporting, shall we say, because he'll report anything and everything,
Mhm.
and apparently he charms the shit out of everyone on production and people tell him things. But he released a video a few days back, a week ago, something like that,
Yeah.
basically saying that he heard it from someone in casting, and he had to bug a lot of people to get this information. He heard it from someone like not in casting, sorry, but someone like close to the show, and then got it independently verified by 3 other people who had no idea he was asking other people this question. Basically, the execs, Amazon and Sony, are going to wait to see how season 3 does before they greenlight season 4, and everyone took that to mean we're not getting season 4.
Right.
So,
And
and that's
and yeah, and I encourage people to go watch that YouTube video because it's not the video is not hair on fire at
No.
all. And
Mm.
he what he says is that this is what I heard and that, what can we do as a fandom? Like we want to get the metrics up. But he didn't say like this is what needs to happen for season 4 to happen. And so just even in terms of his reporting, it wasn't like what the information you heard erroneous or not, I mean, true or not true, not like he didn't know it was what he's been told is, true from that perspective, but whether or not that's actually going to happen, could change for a million different reasons. But it's not as alarming as it sounds at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, 'cause I saw
Yeah.
the reaction on the fandom before I watched the video,
Hmm.
and I was like, "Oh, shit, like, what happened?"
Yeah. If you just
And
looked
then I
at the
watched
reaction
it
of
too,
the
and I was
yeah,
like, "Oh." It was just kinda like, "Okay, that makes
yeah,
sense." Yeah, and
yeah.
it was interesting too what he said was, because like, I post every day about, I want longer seasons, blah, 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 more seasons, whatever, and I've only tagged Amazon, and I didn't tag Sony as well, and he's just suggesting that, anything we're tagging Amazon on, we should be tagging Sony on as well. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And that is true. I mean, in a sense, Sony is a production house and Amazon is a distributor in
and
one way.
Sony's
You
in
can look
charge
at
of
it
the
that way.
merchandise too, right? Isn't that
Yeah, yeah, mostly. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Everybody's married and in bed here in Hollywood now with each other, so it's hard to know. It's hard to know who's in charge of what or or it's on both sides. But yeah, I mean, Sony's definitely a big part of it. And yeah, I thought that was an interesting point that he was like, let's, as long as we're, as the fandom, making noise about it, make sure we're making noise to Sony as well. But I
yeah,
do also think that, I don't want, Sarah Nakamura has weighed in on it and also said, relax, everybody. It's not, what you're seeing is a response from, you know, 2 major strikes last summer, everything in Hollywood being slow. And I will attest to that personally. This industry has not recovered since last summer yet, and in part it hasn't recovered because the industry is always looking for a place to cut corners and to, like, do less and to, like, you know, spend less. So, in a way, I think the studios are taking advantage as long as they can of the strikes last summer and saying like, "Oh, well, we can't make decisions. We can't do anything. We're still recovering from the strike," and try to make it sound like it's the actors and writers' fault, and it's not. But, so there's that one aspect to it, but she's absolutely right that that is what all the studios or networks are doing right now is still saying, "Well, we can't decide. We can't make a decision." I think everybody, like, relaxing a little bit is a good idea, but I also think that it's just such a different game, and Amazon is in such a different position.
hmm
People keep comparing. So one of the other things that John does on his the rest of his podcast after he talks about this information that he got was he talks about the different budgets, both for production and the budgets for marketing for Wheel of Time, Rings of Power, and House of the Dragon. Like, let's look at the big three fantasy series. And I was really wishing he had and dropped in some numbers about Fallout as well, because I don't think that they marketed Fallout very hard, and it did so well. And
yeah,
I think from that perspective, Amazon is not they're just not in the marketing game, and they don't care, and they don't need to. Plus, their marketing budget for season 2 of Wheel of Time was all based around things they were gonna do last summer that they couldn't end up doing because of the strikes. I mean, if you guys remember when I went to Comic-Con last year, there was a literal building-sized moraine,
Right.
like, and they were gonna do a lot of stuff at Comic-Con, and they had to dial all of that back. So, when you look at their budget, is it their budget or is it what they spent? And they probably ended up spending a lot less on marketing than they had intended because
Yeah.
they couldn't do most of what they wanted to do. So, I think in that sense, looking at those numbers and comparing it to the other 2 shows doesn't really give us that much information anyway. But I also just think Amazon, their model is different, and they don't have to market the same way because they're they're just not in the same. Their money isn't coming from whether or not the show does well. They aren't getting advertisers. Like, it's not,
Well, they are
it's
now.
well, yes, but I mean,
Yeah.
yes, that's true. That's true. But they're just not. It's not the same. It's not the same money game for them. And also, here's my hot take. So, as a writer, and we were just talking about season length. As a writer, as an actor, season length being so short is financially really difficult. It's very hard to not. I mean, it's already a gig environment, but you're even more gig if you're literally only writing 1 episode of a season because they have 6 writers and Rafe's gonna write 2 or whatever. Like, it's very hard to make a living as a writer in a show that has a short season, and as an actor. But I think part of the reason Amazon is like, "We like this," is because it's so much easier to re-binge it, right? It's so much easier to rewatch it. And everybody's like, "Oh, the 2 years between seasons is gonna kill the show." Except that if it's been 2 years between seasons, everybody's gonna go back and watch season 1 and season 2 again before they
'Cause
watch
it's only
season 3.
16 episodes. Yeah.
Because it's only 16 episodes. And, like, if I had to watch if I had to watch 3 seasons of Deep Space Nine or Voyager,
Ugh,
I mean, you're
that's like
doing it right now.
yeah, that's 60, 70, 80 episodes you gotta watch,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're 45 minutes long,
yeah.
you
It's a
know?
lot. It's a big commitment. But
Mhm.
we're rewatching Stranger Things right now in order to get our son caught up. And we never watched season 4 because we wanted to rewatch 1, 2, and 3 first. And
Right.
it's so easy. It's like in a week we can have done it. We've done a whole
Yeah.
season and then we can
I
get it.
I
Yeah,
did it for
yeah, yeah,
Umbrella Academy before I just went to America because I'm like, it comes out on August 8th, and I'm not gonna have time to watch 3 or 4 seasons or whatever it is prior, so I'll watch it beforehand, and then I forgot that it's like 8 episodes,
yeah.
and I blitzed through it in, like, a week.
Yep.
I was like, "Oh,
Yep.
I absolutely could have done that when I got back from America," but,
Yep. And
you know.
from a perspective of a studio who's putting out a show like that, I mean, we don't do reruns anymore necessarily or syndication. Like the model of how Hollywood makes their money on syndication is gone. And so when you have a show like Stranger Things, like House of the Dragon, like Wheel of Time, and every 2 years you get this big input of everybody rewatching the seasons leading up to it, it's like free money for no work. They paid for it so long ago. Their financial statements are not reflecting what they're doing for seasons 1 and 2. Like, that's so far gone. So it's free money. It's like
Yeah.
whatever numbers they're getting is all coming in down the line, and they're like, "This is great. I don't have to syndicate the show because people will go back and watch it before the new season comes out." So I don't think we need to worry about the 2. Everybody's like, "You're gonna lose your audience in the 2 years." And I think they're gonna stick with the 2 years. They have 2 big fantasy properties. We know they're doing at least 5 seasons of Rings of Power. Every fall, that's their game. September, we drop a new fantasy show. I don't think it's gonna be quarter 1 or 2. And I also don't think from their perspective, there's any reason they need to go straight into production because they know how long it takes now to make a season, and there's
Yeah.
plenty of time to make that season between
Mhm.
now and September of 27.
So are you saying it's not gonna come out until September 2025?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god,
I've
did
so
I time out KiriCon right every year, apparently.
and I could be wrong. Maybe it'll come
Oh
out
my
sooner.
god,
It might come out sooner, but
that
I
would
don't think
be
so. I
wow.
I also think it's Amazon's way of. I mean, I could be wrong because Fallout came out. When did Fallout drop? May?
Yeah.
So I mean, I could be wrong. So maybe they'll fill the Fallout slot with Wheel of Time next spring because it'll probably be done and ready. So
I
maybe
mean, from
they'll
what
just
everybody's been saying, it sounds like it's not far off now.
yeah, they're still in post, but I don't think they're that far off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I don't think that they have any big incentive to change their model because their assumption is that they're going to get repeat viewers are going to come back. Let's just say 80% of the people who watch seasons 1 and 2 are going to care enough to come back and they're not going to forget about it. They're going to get all that viewing of seasons 1 and 2 leading up to season 3. And then it's like I mean, I work in preschool television and when you do preschool shows like Arthur and like the things that run for see exactly this is your guys' age, not mine. But when you when you have those shows that run for so long, people are like, how can you keep a show going for that long? Well, because new babies are born every day. And so you get a new crop of kids watching that show every few years. And in a way, that's kind of the new game, I think, with Amazon. They're like, okay, so we lose 20% of our viewers, fine, but we're going to pick up 25% more. Like we're going to pick up a bunch of new viewers who are just suddenly finding the show in third season and want to go back.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to change the model. I mean, it could come out in spring. I'm not convinced it has to be fall, but I do think that they like the Wheel of Time Rings of Power, Wheel of Time Rings of Power, Wheel of Time Rings of Power.
Yeah. I
Sorry,
can see
Mike.
that. Like I understand the so I thought Rings of Power was shit. Let's just be honest there. I finished watching it out only because I'd made the effort to watch the first 4. And I was like, all right, it's only 4 more. I'll finish watching it. But I'm no
For
interest in
season
watching
1, you mean?
for
Yeah.
season 1. Yeah, I have no interest in watching season 2 or any of the others. I'm just like, it was just terrible. But I understand why they put the effort into it they are and why they're like, it's going to be 5 seasons. They spent, in terms of like buying the rights and then producing, they spent $1 billion.
Mhm.
You know, like if you're spending $1 billion, you'd be like, well, you know, it's like getting a mortgage on a giant house and then not living in the house.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like you spend $1 billion,
You renovate the
give it,
kitchen.
you renovate the fucking kitchen, you know, like what, you know, you put in the work, you give it, you know, you
Yeah.
showcase it, you have a house party, you know, you do those things sort of thing. Like, you know, Wheel of Time, they did not spend $1 billion on. So, you know, I understand why it's like, it makes sense to me. It sucks, but it makes sense to me that like, do you know what? Let's make sure season 3 is great before we be like, go spend more money on season 4. I have zero doubts that season 3 will be, you know, amazing and that will do well enough that they go, yeah, go make season 4. I have zero doubts about that. But you know, everyone just took that and was just like, well, no, we're not going to get season 4 because they greenlit season 2 before they even played season 1, blah, blah. Well, you know, that was pre-strikes. So, you know,
And
post-COVID.
green lighting a show before the season airs is actually not common. But with these shorter runs of 8 episodes a season, it's not uncommon for you to launch the first like, to have the first 2 going because you wanna keep that momentum of frankly, like, you've got your writers, you've got your actors, and you wanna just kinda keep things moving. You've got your production crew, and you wanna keep things moving to get into both of those. Um, but to then hold off a little and, like, make sure frankly, not even make sure. I think it's very likely that they're gonna do what's called a bridge. It's almost like a soft green light and keep the writers like, not keep the writers are all off now anyway, but, like, bring the writers back in, and honestly, studios are not incentivized to keep those same writers. Like, we all
Right.
want them to keep the same writers, you know, Rafe wants them to keep the same writers, but studios are like, "Whatever, you can find somebody to write this show," especially for a short run where you have a showrunner who's got that already overarching. They're like, "You already know what the story is." You know, you need some input and you want somebody who can put something on the page, but they're not as concerned about keeping that
Hire
writing
Jenn.
team.
Hire Jenn.
Hire me. Thank you. But, you know, and the writers on the show are not all union, so they're making less money. So it's not gonna cost them much to keep 7 people employed for a 2.5, 3-month period, knock out those episodes, and then they throw them away if they don't decide to officially greenlight it, but also you know, I think they will. The shows I mean, frankly, everybody complains about the budgets being so low, and I'm like, don't complain too hard because the fact that the budgets are low mean it's much more likely that they'll say, go ahead, make season 4. Because
Yeah.
they're not blowing the kind of Rings of Power money. And they're doing a beautiful job with that budget.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Meg, you watched the video as well. Well, I didn't watch the second half, but we've all watched at least the first half. What did you think? Like, You said at the
Yeah,
beginning of it.
I was not alarmed. I just felt like, and from some of the posts that I saw, people felt like John was like berating the fandom, like we weren't doing enough. And I don't think that's what he was saying. I think he was like, I'm seeing a lot of people posting all these things, but here's a way that you can kind of make it reach more people. Just get more of the studios and the execs and whatever aware, and just get the word of mouth going. I don't think he was saying that we weren't doing enough. He was just offering suggestions to help it be more effective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I could see why people took it that way, but I
Mhm.
knew that's not how he meant it. I could tell
Yeah.
that's not what he meant, but I
Mhm.
could see how people were taking it that way.
Yeah.
Because John's just a little bit like that. He's just like, hey, do this,
Mhm.
and he doesn't mean it like y'all are idiots or anything like that. He just
Right.
means this is my suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Go give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it was. I don't know. People just were getting crazy about it. No, season 4, and like this is happening, that happened, and then why do we
Well,
do this?
and it's like we're all goldfish because we just heard Guy quote unquote confirm that we were getting season 4 at WatCon. And
I
then we
know,
all
right?
forgot that happened.
I love that he did that, and then the
I love
innkeeper's
that
like,
part.
"Did you mean season 3?" And he's like, "Season 4 is gonna be amazing."
First of all, I love that we were all like goldfish. That's so accurate. That's so
Mhm.
accurate. Like, what?
Yeah.
New? What? New? But I also, because I'm right there too, and I completely forgot about that. I've also been skeptical about that statement. I thought
I'm
he
very
I thought he very
like.
craftily Aes that statement.
He
I
did.
agree with you. He did isolate the shit out of that. He
Yeah.
was just like, he didn't say season 4 is confirmed, season 4 is greenlit, or anything like that. He was
No.
just like, season 4 will be amazing. Like, I can't remember the exact word, but basically it was a case of, if you take literally what he said, all he was saying was like, season 3 is epic. Season
Mhm.
4 will be even better. Like,
Mhm.
it was like an opinion he was
Yeah.
saying, not a fact.
Yeah.
Right.
He's just like, this is what I believe, almost is how he was saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could have easily been taken like, I'm confirming season 4. So, but yeah, we are goldfish. You're quite right there, Meg. So
Yeah.
I've been I've just found Sarah's Twitter page to be like, you know, people asking questions, and like people are like, can you reassure the fandom on your season 4 feelings? Like, is it like to get greenlit soon as the previous seasons, or will it need to wait 1 year or more to start, writing and filming, whatever the light allows you to tell us? And she's like, check my previous tweets on the matter. I can't talk specifics, but what I can say is Hollywood is still recovering from the strikes. All studios have been very slow to greenlight anything. We haven't remotely approached a time frame where anyone should be concerned about the show, in my opinion. Only just got back on myself. I'm still neck deep in season 3 post-production. I'm personally relieved we've not started the new room yet. My feelings is folks need to take a deep breath and chill.
Yep.
Chill.
People aren't like accepting that as an okay answer. And I'm like, what? Why are people like getting stressed out about this? I don't know. Like,
And Sarah doesn't know. Rafe doesn't know. Like, I mean, showrunners are not privy to when these things are going to happen and when information comes down about your show and drops. And showrunners are blindsided all the time by marketing deciding right now is a good time to make this announcement or to drop this thing. My husband's running a show at Nickelodeon, and they decided to do an early release of his episodes 1 and 2. Well, just 1 at first, we thought, on YouTube. And he found out on Friday that it was dropping on Sunday on YouTube. Like, we don't know.
yeah.
So Rafe doesn't know, Sarah doesn't know, nobody knows. Even the executives at Amazon don't know, because the weather changes and then they decide, what, fantasy is out of favor. Here are the things I think we have going in our favor. 1, 10 episodes really means that they don't have to decide too soon.
Well,
They
8
can,
episodes. We don't
sorry,
have
I keep saying 10. I've said that like 4 times
because
today.
we
8
want
episodes.
10.
Just manifesting 10 episodes.
Manifesting it. But that's one thing we have in our favor. 2, the book series is complete. We have that in our favor. So, like, this is not a show even like Lost where we're not quite sure where it's going. And do we really believe that the showrunners know where it's going? We all know what the last scene looks like. We all know what this show leads to. The book series is complete. And so there's, in the same way with Lord of the Rings, like, well, not really, because Rings of Power is a new iteration of it in a
Yeah.
way,
Rings of
so
Power
the
basically comes from, as a couple of lines in the Silmarillion.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So they don't necessarily have it all mapped out in the same way there. And House of the Dragon, based on the House of the Dragon book, but also like they're already making some
Well, it's Blood and
choices
Fire is the book.
or Blood and Fire. Thank you, the book
Yeah.
Blood and Fire. But it's, I think that in that sense, like Amazon can step back and say, we know this has a complete arc. You know what? Sorry, Rafe, we want you to finish it up in 5 or 7. It's possible. I know. It is possible that sorry.
Chill,
Wait, I am not
chill,
doing a John.
chill,
Everybody chill. Everybody chill.
chill.
I don't know anything. But it is possible that at some point they would say, we just don't want to go the length with this, but we want to let you finish it. So try to get it wrapped up. But
Right.
this is a type of show that will continue to, like collect moss. What does it do? I think I keep using this. I keep using the Rolling Stone imagery
Rolling
wrong.
Stone collects no moss.
Collects no moss, but
Yes.
snowball effect. That's what I want. The opposite.
Oh,
which
right. The
is like,
snowball. Right. Yes.
yes, that it keeps snowballing and we'll continue to, get more people and people will be more interested and more excited and talk about it more. But, I don't think that they're disincentivized to keep it going right now,
Right. Yeah.
even if
I
it's on
went
a protracted schedule.
when I saw this. I think I first saw this from someone posting in some Discord servers about it, and then I went and looked a little bit. I have notifications on for Sarah when she tweets. So I saw some of Sarah's tweets, and I was just like, I don't watch a lot of John's videos. I'm not a fan of how he's just like he'll report leaks and things like that. That's just not the kind of info I'm down for. So fair play to him if he's going to do that. People do that. Like, okay, people are going to talk to him. Fine. Don't hold that against him. It's just not what I'm into, so I don't watch his videos per se. But I did watch it for this. And so I was like, I don't have people like John to ask, but I have some people to ask. So I went and asked a few, and I actually bumped into a friend, and I forgot that they know someone in Amazon. And that was how I found out about Lanther being confirmed. Back in the day, I was having a drink with said person, and Lanther came up in discussion, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's so and so." Well, that was Natasha O'Keefe. Don't know why I couldn't say her name. We know who Lanther is now. And I was just like, "Is it really? Are you sure?" And she's like, "Oh wait, that's confirmed, right?" I was like, "No." And she's like, "Oh shit, my friend Tom." I was like, "Is it this week?" We googled and blah blah. Went from there. So I actually, caught up with her recently, and I was just like, "Hey, can you this is everyone's going down about this. Like, can you ask your friend if they heard anything?" And they were just like, "Nothing." Like, it's just, but that's not a case of like it's been cut or there's any concerns. It's just like it's just out of the rotation for the moment. It's
Mhm.
like it's the off season, it's the in between, it's whatever you want to
Mhm.
name it. It's but there was no like, oh, Wheel of Time, ooh, yeah, sorry about that, or anything like that whatsoever. They were just like, nah, nothing's going on with it apart from post production at the moment. That's where they're
Yeah.
at. That's what's
Yeah.
happening. That's it.
Yeah.
So, and this person is an editor. Didn't do editing for season 1 or 2, but was in the room while someone else was editing season 2, I think, something like that. So they'd seen it and it was just like, wow. But there was zero panic from this person
It's great.
that my friend knows. Like, it was just a case of, it's like the holiday, the summer season for when it was episodic TV. It was literally
Mhm.
like that.
It's
And
just
I was just like,
a longer summer season.
it's just a much longer summer season. So,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any issues. When I met Rafe, he had no concerns about the show. He was happily talking about season 3 of what he could share. And, he didn't seem concerned about timelines, where they were, what was happening. And that was what, 6 weeks ago,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't think there's a problem. I think everyone just jumps on that soapbox and goes, ah. And I still stand by. I've said it multiple times, and I will say it again. I think I've said it here. Game of Thrones was fine. It was popular. People knew about it, but it wasn't until season 3 that everybody knew about it. That was
Yep.
water cooler talk. That
Yeah,
it was
Mhm.
suddenly everywhere. And I've been saying since before season 1 came out, season 1 will be good. It'll do well. People will love it. We'll get a season 2. Season 2 will blow it out of the water. It'll be amazing. And it will suddenly be more popular, but it won't be everywhere. Will still be unknown. And then suddenly season 3 will come out and everyone will just be out of nowhere watching it. And then suddenly we'll be around each other and to be like, hey, I'm watching this show. I'm like, oh, I'm watching this show too. Oh, I'm watching that show as well. And suddenly everyone will be talking about it. And I still
And the
think
people,
season 3 will do that.
yeah, and the people who haven't watched it can say, "Oh, it's only 8 episodes per season to catch. Oh, 16 episodes and I'm caught up. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll get into that. I can do
Yeah.
that this weekend." I mean, it, it's a different strategy, and I as a storyteller, I like it. I like it. I like it tighter. I'm not even pushing for 10 like everybody else in the fandom is. I'm like, you can do it with 8.
The judgy eyes from Meg right now.
I know. But hey, if 8 episodes a season gets us our 7 or 8 seasons, I would rather have the time to tell the story right, even if
I
the seasons are
hear
short.
that, but I feel like 10 episodes would just help the season feel fuller and richer. I don't know.
We'll get longer ones even. They were longer this season. I mean,
Mhm.
I'd rather do 100 I'd rather do an hour and 10 minutes per episode and
Well,
get 8
Allie likes to
episodes.
say that people don't do well with that. So, with a
Yeah.
longer episode, that they get
I ju
itchy.
yes. She's not wrong. I just talked to her like an hour ago. I just talked to her an hour ago, and she and I are having a long Zoom call tomorrow. So yeah, I will ask her about that. We'll give her time.
Yeah. So it's just interesting how we are goldfish. Meg, you've nailed that. Like that's
Mhm.
stuck in my head now that we're a goldfish and we like, you know, we've a whole bunch of us just saw Guy Roberts at WhatCon and he was raving about season 3 and excited about, what season 4 will bring,
Mhm.
did not legitly confirm season 4. Let's be very clear about that
Yes,
before anybody who wasn't there thinks that he did that and we just didn't share it with the world.
No.
But suddenly John makes a video of like, oh, the execs want to wait until season 3 is out before they make an official decision on season 4. And then we've all just gone, oh, we've lost Wheel of Time again.
I did
It's,
have a nightmare though about it. I legit did.
oh,
That like Rafe was at Comic-Con
Oh.
was like, season 3 is gonna be great. And then he was like, and no season 4, and literally did a mic drop and ran off stage. That was my nightmare.
oh
I
my,
love you so much. I can't even stand it right now. I love my little sister more than anything on the planet, and I love that that's
wow.
what the dream you had. I do. I love you so much. I love you so much.
I think, we need to remember that we have the books. Like like
Don't
everyone
say
was
that.
saying to
That
the book
makes
club.
it sound like it's gonna
we have
Yeah.
Winter Dragon.
We
Oh,
have
God.
wins. But that's that I was going to segue into that. Let's remember that,
Yeah.
Winter Dragon came out all those years ago and everyone was just like, oh, and that was it. That was our hopes and dreams for Wheel of
Yeah.
Time for so long.
Yeah.
And then it got picked up by Sony and Amazon, and here we are, waiting on
And we
season
get
3.
Maddie and Zoe and
Yeah.
Marcus
I
and
love that you said Maddie.
Donald. Of course I said Maddie first. And Yosha. I mean, and I said Marcus. Okay. Phew. Okay, it just make sure I got my 5. But and Kira, because I gotta say that. But I mean, what amazing stuff we have to feed us. And we
Mhm.
always have the books.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we always have the books.
So it's
And
not
each other.
yeah, absolutely.
I
We
mean, come on.
don't
I'm sorry. You go, Rob.
No, go, you're fine.
I was just gonna say, you know what? I want the series to complete. I want the series to go all the way through. I want to write on the series. I want everything for this series. I want it to win all the awards.
Higher Jen.
Yes. But I think if we all step back and look at what we've gotten out of this show, because the fandom was there and it was like, scattered and wide, and we were chat rooms and we were a little bit of a Twitter community. And then the show came out and the fandom just exploded and became so prominent and such a big part of our lives, the people who are in it, the content creators, the podcasters, the watchtubers, whatever. But like, whether or not that's where you're at, we go to these conventions, we talk about it, and we've created this amazing community. And that's the best part of it. Love the show, hate the show. Like, the fact that the show got announced and started happening really galvanized this community and
Mhm.
brought us together. And that's a far better gift and a real lasting gift, far more than the show ever will be,
Yeah.
in my opinion. In my humble opinion.
It's
And
positive, but it sounds fatalistic at the same time.
No, it's not. Oh my God, I'm not being
Here's the
John.
light, Asha.
come on, Meg. Are you concerned about season 4, Meg?
No,
You
I'm
are.
not. But when
Yes,
you
you
say
are.
shit like that, it sounds like we're giving up.
No, because I see. Here's the thing I think about when season 1 started. So here is me. When season 1 started, I was already having heart palpitations about the end of the show. And I mean like end season 7, season 8, whatever, but the show being over. Because that loss when a show is over and they aren't making any more episodes is really real for the people who become fans of it. And love it or hate it, end of Game of Thrones, love it or hate it, I was like, I'm not ready to say goodbye to John and Danny. I'm not ready to wherever Arya is going off to. Like, I'm not ready to
Spoilers for Game of Thrones.
spoilers for Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like, now the longing is different than the longing. It's grief because we won't get it back. And even if you know that there's a spinoff coming like House of Dragons, there's still grief. And so I think I have been planning for that and worried about that since episode 1, because I was like, I love all these characters so much. I don't want to say goodbye to them. So I have to remember that I have them and can continue to talk about them and debate about them and go on panels at WhatCon and like build an outrigger and whatever. Like, we have it. We have it forever. We can make memes about them until the cows come home. Malkiri Mimoth, please. More.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Thank you.
I have a controversial opinion about all the chaos and the worrying and the fear mongering of things that are going on.
Please do.
So yeah, I think people are getting a little, and I mean this with love, but it's not nice. I think people are getting a little entitled around the show. This expectation of like, we have to have news. We have to have the next season greenlit before this comes out. There's there's certain times and things and reactions I'm seeing where I'm just like, this has gone beyond passion. It is now a little bit of like, this is what you owe us. This is what we expect. This is what we're entitled to. I see little bits of that creeping in. When I see things like this happening, I'm just like, we never even had to get Winter's Dragon, and here we are with 3 seasons.
Can I weigh in on that?
Of course, yeah.
I love that, Rob. I mean, I don't love it, but I love it. I think it's a real take. And I think because this fandom knows the book so well, have been so like, we all committed to the 15-book series and we're here, and we want the show to do us justice. But I do think that there is I think online world breeds the ability to do that and to feel entitled and to feel that level of ownership. And let us all look to the light and not be like Star Wars fans. And I
Oh,
am the biggest Star Wars fan.
mhm.
I mean, obviously so is Meg. Like, she named her daughter Leia, like the other daughter, not the Avienda daughter. But let me just say, like,
I mean, she did go Avienda first, so she got it
No,
right.
I did Leia
But
first.
you did Leia first?
I think that's our audiogram right there.
And then Ruth Mistress
Leia
Leia
first?
goes, I don't remember her
What?
doing me first.
Too many water
My-
cocktails.
Yeah.
I love it. But it's what a shame. What a shame that fandom has, taken such ownership of it. And granted, like, I'm a big Star Wars fan and have been, and I have an original Millennium Falcon upstairs on my desk, so I can claim it. But I also, like, I didn't read every single novel. I didn't read every single comic book, and the people who have are even more like, I own it. You can't do this. And it's toxic. It belongs to all of us. It'll happen when it happens. It'll be what it'll be. We always have the books.
Mhm.
And, I think you're right. I think there is that level of, I don't wanna let go of my ownership of it. I mean, Egwene
Yeah,
is now Maddie to me. Like, there is it is. I do. I'm like, I know your character as well as you do, actress. Like, which is bullshit, but like,
I'm not saying we shouldn't be, fierce about it and
yeah.
want to, protect it where we can and stuff. But there's a balance between doing that and then acting entitled and, all the
Yeah.
ways that, we know the Star Wars fans in general, not all of them, but in
No.
general seem to behave.
Mhm.
And I see little snippets of that here and there when I see things like this happening. I'm just like, you know, just take a step back and, you
Yeah.
know, because people are I feel like people are starting to slip into
Mhm.
the, well, we should have this, it should
Mhm.
happen this way. I was gonna say, and that's how the book cloaks are, they're
Yeah.
like, that's not what's on the page, that's not what's in my head, that's not how it's meant to be, thus it can't be, thus it isn't good.
Yep.
And I feel like different language but the same sort of mentality slips into moments like this for the
And
rest
when
of
people
us.
are demanding of Sarah
Mm,
Nakamura, like, "Tell us what you know." Like, "What do you just make us feel better." Like, it is not. I mean, she has taken on that den mother role to some degree to, like, keep the fandom, to keep us calm, to, like, to feed us little bits, to, like, share things with us, and it's so generous of her to do that, but for us to take advantage of that by saying, Sarah, you better weigh in on this, tell us it's all gonna be okay." That's not that's not fair to her either, and her livelihood is wrapped up in it going. Like, obviously,
yeah.
she wants it to go too, and we are not entitled to her having to say anything, we are not entitled to Rafe having to share anything with us, and yeah, I think it can get to a scary place. Not scary, like, dangerous, but just scary, like, you know, let's
We
treat each
we are
other
sta
well.
yeah, we're statistically the best fandom. Let's make sure we don't
Oh,
s
100%.
toxic to that, so,
Yeah.
I don't know. What Meg, you're being very quiet.
Well, I'm just listening.
Oh,
I
alright,
have
okay.
nothing
I
to
want
say.
I feel like Jen and I are talking a lot tonight, and I
No.
don't want you to sit there and be like,
Hey, I
I'm
had
chill."
3 shots
No.
almost before we started, and I got my dinner, so
You're just
I'm
falling sleepy.
And, I did see you, like, I think we were about 10 minutes in, and you were, like, sipping another shot. I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, she's going for it," so I
No,
understand the concern people have, and I
no.
understand the worry, and we all want this to. I would love 8 seasons. I would love 10 seasons, 10 episodes. All those things.
Mhm.
But I want to. I try to remind myself to be grateful for what we do get, and to trust in the process. Trust what they're doing. Trust what they're making.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I feel like there's politics, there's money, there's all those sorts of things involved. But I think we've got good people at the helm fighting for the right things, making the right things, producing the right things, that then the execs would be like, okay, that makes money. Fine, go for it,
Mhm.
keep doing it. So
Mhm.
I feel that, we've got people in place that will balance an amazing show for us that makes money for Amazon and Sony. So, and I
Yeah.
think we just need to remember that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Mm,
Chill.
so, y'all need to fucking chill.
Just tug your braids, and then get on with our lives.
Hey, my hair's long enough. I can braid it now. So it's not quite over the shoulder braid, but I can tug it. So,
Mhm.
and
Excellent.
my God, if we're adding to the audio clips for this week.
It's not over the shoulder, but I can tug it.
Nuggets, yeah.
Are
Yeah,
we,
that's,
are we at game time?
Yes,
I
we are
think we're at
game
game
time.
time, yeah.
Yes.
So that's what I was about to say. Now
That's why
we've
I just
now
cracked
we've
another nooner because I finished my other
talked
one.
about all the shit you guys are up to out there in the fandom, and,
And we love the statistically best fandom. I wanna put that out there. I know I'm being a little
yeah.
bit harsh when I'm, like, comparing us to Star Wars fans. I take it back.
That's why I
We
was
are
being so
not.
quiet. No, I'm just kidding.
You're like, "I'm gonna let Jen just hang herself out there."
Yeah. No, we love you
Okay, so who are we
almost there.
playing as today?
Okay.
We're
Oh, yeah.
playing,
We didn't decide. Okay, we got the 3, but we didn't say who is who. So we have, so in honor of Min's a viewing shot, we have Min, and then other people who have foretelling capabilities, Guitar Moroso and Nicola Tree Hill. So I will be
Can
Nicola.
I was about to say,
Oh,
can I be Min?
there we go, and I wanted to be Guitar Amoroso mostly because it's Haley Mills.
You did say that, yes. So,
Mhm.
okay.
All right,
I'm
Let's
perfect.
gonna
get
do it.
together, yeah, yeah, and can we have Guitar Amoroso sing from Parent Trap? Okay. Never mind. I haven't even had anything to
I
drink.
honestly thought you could be like, can we have her on the show? I was like, fuck yeah, we can have her on the show. Why
Yeah,
not? So,
right?
yeah.
We can make that happen.
Yeah, let's just have everybody like just on the show.
Mhm.
Let's just keep sending us people every week. I don't care who they are. Let's have Grip Boy number 5 on the show, you know.
Yes,
So
please. Yes, please.
or Grip Person, doesn't have to be Grip Boy. You know,
Yeah.
so,
Terrific. Exactly.
yeah. Never have I ever used someone else's toothbrush.
Hmm.
I feel like Min's got too many standards about personal hygiene to use someone else's toothbrush.
Really?
I could be
I'm
wrong.
down with that. I think Guitarra Moroso. See, here's my thought. I feel like we don't know enough about Guitarra Moroso, except that she was Keeper of the Chronicles, and I think she was Keeper of the Chronicles because she didn't want the actual pressure of being Amerlin, and I think that she had a wild side in her younger years, and so I think she easily would have used someone else's toothbrush.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Nicola's too snobby too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And 2 out of 3 on the main one, so no drinking there. So, sorry, Meg, your reaction was like, really? I was like, yes, really. Never I ever clogged someone else's toilets. We're getting all the good ones today. Look, I'm gonna be honest. Like Min's, like if I have to, I have to. So
Yeah. And I feel like Nicola would have, but never would admit to it. She just ran away.
I feel like
Yeah.
she wouldn't do it. She would like run home and then go do it. I feel like she would never.
So she's clogged her own toilet, but not someone else's.
Correct.
Megan,
Yeah.
Megan is that you or is that Nicola? Is my question. All right,
Wow.
Guitarra again. Guitarra gives no fucks.
Okay. Guitar gives no fucks. There we go. Fair enough. Was that once you hit 40, you stop giving fucks? So
Exactly.
yeah, there we go. Never have I ever dined and dash. Oh Jesus, Min is definitely drinking for this one.
Yeah,
I think
Min has
Nicola
for
would
sure.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Guitarra, I don't think so. I think she's
No.
pretty like. I think she's she's gonna tip well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like a 30% tipper type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. All right. This is a good mix this week, I think, actually.
It is.
Never have I ever gone 24 hours without showering. I think in Wheel of Time World, everyone.
I think
has
all
this.
of them would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah, I think the only person who's going to be like doesn't drink to this is like
Elaine.
Elaine. Yeah. Yeah, showering, bathing of some kind.
Yeah. Elaine.
Yeah. So
Andorans.
yeah. Never have I ever fallen asleep in public.
First of all, I just love that that's actually on here. I'm like, has anyone in the world not fallen asleep in public, or am I just?
Well, you and I are a special breed in that case.
We are a special breed in that.
I've definitely fallen asleep in public, personally.
Yeah, Guitarra Moroso, I think like she can play that card of being like,
I just had a
What?
foretelling.
I just had a foretelling.
I know that's what I was going to say with Nicola too.
Does Min fall asleep in public? I don't know. I bet if she's riding like in the back of
I'm
someone's
pretty sure
car.
she pretended to fall asleep on Rand on his lap on a throne.
Yeah, she pretended,
I
but I
feel
think
like
she probably has enough of a self-preservation thing
Mhm.
that she wouldn't. I don't know. Pretended
Well,
though. So
I don't know.
We'll take a sip because she pretended.
yes.
So
Yes.
others believe she was asleep. So we'll sip for that.
Sorry, there's my ice maker again.
Never have I ever bribed someone. Oh, come on, this is just Min's
Every
drinking
Aes
to a lot
Sedai has
this week.
bribed
I'm pretty
somebody.
sure Nicola, she was, what's the word?
She was extorting
Yes. So I feel like she would
Yes.
definitely not be above
sure.
bribing. Yes.
for
Mhm.
sure.
I would agree there. Yeah. Who was it we did the week where basically you and I didn't drink, Jen, but Meg drank every single time? Was it when
It was
when she was
Matt.
mad? Yeah. We got a week where we're all drinking.
Yes.
Never have I ever laughed so hard I peed my pants as an adult. Can you tell I copied these from somewhere? Because I would never have written I peed my pants as an adult. I was like, glad I peed my pants.
I don't see Nicola laughing.
Ever.
No.
So
Yeah.
no.
And Guitara, I don't think so. She does have that decorum, even if she doesn't
Yeah.
give no fuck. She gives no
I
fucks.
feel like
So.
Min definitely would.
Yeah, I was gonna say Min with her aunts and shit. Yeah, she's
And I would
fun.
say laughing at Rand in particular. Like
Yeah.
she would make herself peak because she was laughing at him so hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, couple more.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we get. Never have I ever kissed someone in public. I just
Min definitely needs
You got to
to
drink like 3 times for that at least.
Yeah, just finish it.
Yeah.
But no, we got one more. I might have to finish it on the next one. So
right. I don't think Guitara.
No.
I don't think so.
Nicola, wasn't she in Ariana doing stuff?
Arena,
whatever.
but not in public.
Yeah, not in public, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe no.
No. Okay. And last one for the episode. Never have I ever cursed in a place of worship. See, I told you I'd have to neck it back for the last one.
Guitara lets some F-bombs drop right there in the hall of the tower.
I feel like Nicola probably would too.
Mm-hmm. And just like that, I finished an entire can. Excuse me. Wow. We'll start that sentence again. And just like that, I finished an entire can of pineapple punch cider.
Nice.
Which is, I'm trying to find a percentage on here. 4% APV. So APV, whatever.
Nooners are 4.5. So
Yeah.
And what is it?
Plus, the 3 shots I did first. So
I'm drinking. I'm drinking a 9%. It's actually not very much. It's a little slightly sparkling wine.
Nice. Well, it's 8:30 at night for you, Meg, and you're on the summer season. It's 1:30 in the morning for me, and I have work tomorrow, so not till. I actually don't have work. I don't have work for another 11 and a half hours, and I have work till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which is very nice. But
yeah, you stayed up extra late.
Yeah, but then I have children that wake me up super early. So
yeah, this is true.
Well, who was the third wheel this week?
Me, because I've never watched any Star Trek TV shows. Yeah,
the Star Trek TV shows. This
Yeah.
is very, very true. Also, Sarah just posted. Someone, nothing crazy, but it fits with the topic of today's show. So, Amazon MGM Studio, that's their @ on Twitter, posted what upcoming show you're most looking forward to. Someone quote tweeted them and said, "Not panicking, but not great that tagged them account is replying to comments about Rings of Power, Gen V, Legend of Vox, but not Wheel of Time, despite getting the most comments. Does Amazon care about Wheel of Time?" And they've tagged multiple people, including Rafe, Sarah, Geeky Eerie, and Unraveling the Pattern. Unraveling the Pattern replied, "No need to panic. Remember, the Wheel of Time is a Sony property, not exclusive to Amazon like the others." And then Sarah's also replied to Lauren's comment on that, saying there's nothing to doomsee here, folks. So, need to fucking chill.
Right? A bunch of doomsayers.
Definitely. So, all right. So,
Yes.
Meg's our third wheel. Do we have a what a positivity? I don't think we actually checked whether anyone had one pre-show.
We did not discuss it pre-show because we forgot to discuss it pre-show. Well, yeah, okay. I'll come up with one. I can.
You're always good at that.
I can string one out.
Whereas I have to dig to the deep recesses of my brain to find anything positive.
Well, mine is going to be a generic one, but it is going to be on brand for this episode, which is that I did just return from San Diego Comic-Con, literally like a week after I was at WatCon in Columbus. And so my positivity is that despite us spending an episode talking about our pants on fire, hair on fire fandom, statistically best fandom that we love, truly the people who are nerds and geeks and who love this stuff just love it and love each other. And there is just such a positive vibe and we talked a lot about WatCon in our last episode, but there's just such a positive vibe in general among fandoms. And I know I even bagged on Star Wars fandoms, and I am a Star Wars fan, so I'm including myself in that fandom. But there really is just in general in the world a lift each other up and support each other and care about each other vibe among people who.
Whereas STCC feels
these.
very cutthroat and gatekeepy to me when I go.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so I take it all back.
No,
I
SDCP.
mean,
No, I was saying both. I was actually saying both.
Oh.
I was saying
I
that.
No, I
I
thought you were talking about the juxtaposition between the two.
I
And that
wasn't.
oh, sorry, I
No,
disagree.
that's okay. That's all right. That's all right.
I also have like a little word of positivity that I've occurred to me while you were talking, and so MercuryCon is coming up very very quick. Holy crap! MercuryCon is literally for me now a month away.
Oh my
It
gosh.
is the 6th of August
It is
here, and it
August,
starts on the
yeah.
6th of September.
Holy
Okay.
moly.
Side note: we've just put the schedule together today between myself and Sulin, so
Because you
which
don't
is
need too much more
exciting.
of that. That's fine.
No, mostly we do it. You know, we need to do it early enough to get panelists and things like that. But MercuryCon is a month away, which is scary and exciting all at once. But just yesterday, someone was commenting, I think, in the Discord server for MercuryCon, about so you know, last week on 3-4 Talk we launched we showed off the con art for this year. We launched the meet and greet that's happening with Guy Roberts, where he's going to do signings. You can have professional photo taken with our con photographer, and then there's like a chibi class that Memo's hosting for a select number of people, you know, things like this. We also launched merchandise. We do merch every year with the con art, and one of our attendees, Serene, she brought one of those like metal flasks that have like the metal straw and the plastic cap that goes in it, because I had the artwork printed around, and it's a very very cool flask. And this year obviously we've got the artwork going around, and it has it's like so the first year we had Tarwin's Gap. That's what Tree did. The second year we did the Seven Towers with Tarwin's Gap in the background, in the you know, very very distant background. This year I asked her if she could do a view from one of those towers, and then we've got Shannara in armor on one side of the windowsill, and then there's a crane actually stood on the windowsill holding in its beak Uno's eye patch, because
Oh
obviously
my
it's
god.
going to the convention. Yeah, so it's a beautiful piece of artwork, and that's what's on the Tumblr, and it's called the Crane and Patch Tumblr. It's what I've named it this year, rather than the Seven
that's
Towers
great.
Tumblr like last year. Serene brought another one this year, and she's like, it's so good. Like, it, you know, people, I got some compliments about merchandise, because although it is pricier, the quality is, you know, the reason I get it is because the quality is so good. And I'm like, I want people to buy things that will last and they can have a long time, rather than just like cheap whatever type thing that lasts a few months and it's done. And Serene was like wowing over the fact that she's had the other flask for a whole year and it's still basically in top-notch condition. Obviously she looks after it, but she loved it so much that when this year's came out, she's like, I had to buy another one type thing. And it just, you know, I don't put it out there with the expectation of like everyone has to buy merch. I'm just like, I know people like merchandise. People like different things. You know, they want a hoodie, or they want a tumbler, or a water bottle, or a notebook, or whatever it might be. So I like to throw a few things out there for people to get and enjoy. And it was really really nice that, you know, she's like, I got one last year, and you know, it's still great. I don't need to replace it, but I just want to support, and I want to, you know, have this year's one as well. And it was, you know, she just off her own regard was, you know, just bigging it up to everyone else, but without the pressure of saying you must buy this. It was a case of like, I get this, I love it, it's good quality. If you get it, you won't regret it type thing, you know. And it felt really good. So yeah, and the convention's a month away. Oh my god.
That is great. That is great.
I go to Prague in like in shit. I go to Prague in like 2 weeks.
What?
Yeah, to do like a pre-meeting with the hotel, so I need to visit this hotel I paid for,
Right.
actually see the space I'm using, so I can make sure I bring the right things.
That's so exciting. I'm so jealous.
Well, we'll have it at a teacher suitable time one year or something. We'll work it out. You'll get there, I promise. So, yeah, there's an extra watt of positivity for you.
Love it. Love it. A little more specific than my generic one that was the opposite of what Megan was saying.
No, look, it's, you know, it's part of a good discussion if we all have different points of view, isn't it? So
exactly. All right.
Well, that's another episode done. But that's our last single digit episode.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have to decide. We'll have to see if we decide to re-record our openings, our intros.
We'll be in double digits next time, ladies.
Wow.
Double digits.
We're vets at this point.
only another 90 episodes to go after that before it's triple digits, which is what's that? 90 episodes. That's 180 weeks. That is only 3 years until we hit 100
All right.
episodes.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Oh my god, does that seem right? 100 episodes, 20. Yeah, that seems right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 90 episodes. Yeah.
Well, if we do bi-weekly, yeah, that would be 26. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. More than that, more than 3 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
90 episodes, that was 180 days. What's that, 3.5 years?
Mhm.
So we'd be podcasting probably close to the 4-year mark before we hit
Well,
100
with the
episodes.
2
I'll be an
year,
old
between
lady.
each season, easy to do, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Easy
That's
to
true. We
do.
have
This
plenty.
is true. All these people out here doing weekly drops, they're like, what are we
We're
talking
good.
about this week? Like,
We're gonna be on our
like,
1000th
I-
episode by the time the show's done.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll be like, geez, what was this like? Weren't we just talking about this like 3 days ago? And now we're gonna plan another one, and here we are. We're like, oh shit, I forgot to release the episode. Oops. Well, thank you, everyone
Thank
who's
you.
listening. And thank you, Meg and Jen. Yeah. Please like the video on YouTube, subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, because that's where you get to see the incredible drinks that Meg puts together. And maybe we're going to work on a cocktail book for What a Holiday, which also comes up. Jesus, when did I've got the dates for that already. I've had the dates for that for months. When are the dates for What a Holiday? First announcement for What a Holiday. It will be on November 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern, until
Okay.
December 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, we should probably plan on doing something for that, shouldn't we?
I mean, I was gonna book us in for a slot. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I think it should be. I mean, it'd be easy enough to do something cocktail related, right?
Yeah, that's
Oh
true.
my- Oh wait, are we just gonna like? No,
Drink
people have
for an
done
hour.
drink for money. People have done that and regretted it. So, and
No,
I have
we
to,
don't
I have
drink
to
for
like
money.
manage a stream. So, oh god.
We could do, but we could do. I mean, we could have like audience suggestions for something, and if they suggest something and we take a shot of it or do something that could,
I mean, I'll
never
drink
mind.
for money. I'm not above that. I will drink for your money, people. If you want to donate money, I will get drunk on stream. It's, we just need to do it slightly earlier in the stream when I can like hand it off to someone else for like 6 hours so I can get a bit of sleep
Right.
and
Right.
recover, and then I'll come back, because not only will I have to do this, there'll be threefold talk. I'll probably do a slot of my own. You know, I end up doing about 6 shows usually across the 24 hours.
Oh, look at me. I yawned just thinking about it. I got tired for you. I got pre-tired for you.
You got pre-tired for me. Thank you. I appreciate that. So,
She's such an
all right,
empath.
folks. Yes. All right, folks. Will you take care? Like, subscribe, comment, tell us how much we should drink for What a Holiday, and we will see you next time. So, bye.
Bye.
Once again, we've proven that even when you're the third wheel,
You can always find a place to fit in
Join us next time
on Three Wheeling.
on three-wheeling.
on Free Wheeling.